Winds tune in the summer smelled of nothing, and although Ifemelu liked the tranquil greenness of the many trees, the clean streets, and the stately homes, she found this lack of a smell in the air unnerving. With this first sentence, Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie sets the tone for Americanah, a novel about identity, love, race, and the immigrant experience. Ifemelu, a Nigerian woman living in the US for 13 years, has achieved what many might call success. She runs a popular blog about race, has dated powerful men, and is financially independent. Yet, something doesn't feel right. She is restless. She longs for home. And so, she makes the bold decision to return to Nigeria, leaving behind the country that shaped her in ways she never expected. But Americana is not just Ifemelu's story. It is also Obinze's, the man she once loved, who dreamed of joining her in the West but whose path took a much darker turn. While Ifemelu finds herself trapped in the racial politics of America, Obinze is suffocating under the weight of a broken immigration system in the UK. Their lives move apart, but fate has a way of bringing unfinished stories back together. The American experience. Ifemelu's awakening. Ifemelu's move to America is not the fairy tale she imagined. Back in Nigeria, she never thought of herself as black. She was simply Nigerian. But in America, she learns that race is an identity that shapes how the world sees her. You can't write an honest novel about race in this country. If you write about how people are, some people will be offended and they'll call you angry. She struggles with culture shock, financial hardship, and loneliness. At one point, desperation pushes her into a painful decision she later regrets, leading her to cut off all contact with Obinze. Their love story, once so full of promise, is suddenly severed. Yet, Ifemelu slowly finds her footing. She starts a blog about race in America, writing with brutal honesty about the things most people are too afraid to say. Her sharp insights earn her a loyal following, making her a well-known voice in discussions about race. But her personal life remains complicated. She falls in love with Kurt, a charming and wealthy white man who adores her but cannot fully understand her experience as a black woman in America. The relationship is passionate, but cracks form in the places where race, privilege, and unspoken tensions meet. When the relationship ends, Ifemelu moves on to Blaine, an African American professor whose intellectual world fascinates her, but whose rigid ideals sometimes suffocate her. Despite these relationships, despite her success, a sense of ruthlessness lingers. America is a place of opportunities, but it is also a place of exhaustion, a place where she must constantly explain herself, navigate codes of behavior, and pretend to be someone slightly different from who she truly is. And so, she makes a choice. She decides to return to Nigeria. Obinze's struggle, the price of the West. While Ifemelu is building a life in America, Obinze is facing a much harsher reality in the UK. Unlike her, he is unable to get a visa to the US, forcing him to take a more dangerous path. In England, Obinze became one of the many invisible immigrants, cleaning toilets and dreaming of a life denied to him. He arrives in London with hope, but soon realizes that the West is not the land of opportunity he once believed. Without papers, he is trapped in a life of menial jobs, using fake identities, always afraid of being caught. They don't see us, they only see a shadow of who we are. His dream of success crumbles when he is arrested and deported back to Nigeria. For Obinze, the return is not by choice, but by force. He is humiliated, broken, and forced to rebuild his life in a place that feels both familiar and distant. Yet, he finds a way to thrive. Years later, when Ifemelu returns, she finds a different Obinze, one who has wealth, power, and a family of his own. Love, loss, and second chances. She had come back, and it struck her that she had done this before, that this was a deja vu of her return to Lagos as a child. Nigeria is not the country Ifemelu left behind. It is vibrant, chaotic, and rapidly changing. But even more than Nigeria itself, she has changed. She is no longer just a Nigerian woman. She is a woman shaped by America, by race, by experiences that set her apart from those who never left. Reuniting with Obins brings back emotions she thought she had buried. The love between them is still there, but it is complicated. Obinze is married. He has a family. And yet, there is a part of him that never stopped loving Ifemelu. Their love story is not the kind found in fairy tales. It is messy, painful, and full of questions. Can they go back to the way things were? Or have they been shaped too much by the worlds they lived in separately? Americana is not just a love story. It is a story about identity, about the immigrant experience, and about what it means to belong. Ifemelu and Obinze's journeys reflect two sides of the immigrant struggle: the one who makes it but loses something in the process, and the one who is forced to return, not out of choice but out of necessity. And yet, even Ifemelu, who achieved the American dream, chooses to come back. Why? Because home is more than a place. It is a feeling and identity, a truth that cannot be erased by years of living abroad. Americana is a novel that asks difficult questions. What does it mean to be an immigrant? How does race shape the way we see ourselves and others? Can we ever truly go back home after being changed by another world? Ifemelu and Obinze's story is not just about love. It is about the struggle to define oneself in a world that constantly tries to do it for you. What do you think? Is home a place? Or is it something we carry with us? Let me know in the comments.